In the previous episode, we started one of the most mystical expeditions in the history of the show. Behind me is the Karakorum mountain system, and under my feet is the place where the tectonic plates collide. Such places are believed to have extraordinary power. That's why the most powerful shamans, who can predict the future, have found refuge just here. Many expeditions try to find the mystical fountain of immortality here, and to find out how the locals live for up to 120 years. My grandfather was 135. My grandmother was 130. The highest mountain highway in the world, or the Eighth Wonder as it's called here, led us to the mystical Hunza Valley, where the royal forts still keep their terrible secrets. The crown fell only 47 years ago. Despite the palace is empty and a museum plaque is on the throne, dynasties of kings still live in this valley. There are many descendants of kings in the city? Yes, they're still alive. Today we'll learn how the dynasty of kings lives now. How is it customary to address you, Your Majesty? What legacy the princes have? Is it all from the royal court? Yes, you're right. Who created the royal gold reserve? They had to give their gold to the king. Back then, you had to pay tax. How do hunters for the most coveted metal live? This is extreme. Water on your bat? Is it true there are golden mountains among these peaks? The gold fever begins. The World Inside Out with Dmytro Komarov. In the Middle Ages, travelers who passed here by the Silk Road said that gold literally was spread on the banks of the rivers. This region is called Gilgit-Baltistan, mountains in the far north of the country. Ancient and mysterious places of power are here, give shamans the chance to see the future. They also give the long life to common people. But the special value has been used by groups of nomads for many generations. They live at the cost of this region's one feature, the huge reserves of gold. We can literally call this land golden. Today, there are about 200 gold deposits in the area. We're approaching the camp of gold diggers. Those are their tents. This is not a group trip to the campsite and not a tent camp. It's a personal small mobile city belonging to one family, which is built wherever they find gold. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dmytro. Aman, Bair, Usarek, Usman, Shabdir, Imran, Farmaskan, Hunza, Ahman. Hey kids. Mujib, Luffy, Hafiz. I see the northern people. I'm wearing a down jacket, a wool hat, and he's wearing a shirt. It's cold outside, but it's not cold yet. It's -4 degrees Celsius, and people here are wearing jackets and shorts. We're already used to such temperatures. Imran, it seems you're in charge here. Do you have a hierarchy here, or all of you are in charge? A person in charge is the oldest. You're just the most talkative. Are you in charge? Yes. Farmers Khan, how old are you, if it's not a secret? I'm 75. How long have you been mining gold? Since childhood, but he quit 2 years ago. You start walking from an early age. Do these kids help? Not yet. They start walking at the age of 12, like these guys. Hello guys, assalamu alaikum. We usually work 6 days a week. From 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. we pan for gold. We take to Gilgit everything we manage to collect in a week. We sell gold in the market for 8,000 rupees per gram. I don't get where your luxury cars and private helicopters are. The gold diggers, you are probably very rich. People think a gold digger is a rich man. Luxury car. I could barely afford an auto rickshaw. Today we'll find out what the golden life of these people really is. For one day I'll become a full member of the team of those who dig for the most expensive metal in the world. Come on, everyone's getting ready, I'll show you the camp. Everyone's gathered to warm their hands. But this tent, this stove, it's all very mobile, right? I guess it's easy to raise, disassemble, and move it to another location. Exactly. We don't stay in one place for more than a month. Here, everything is simple. I really hope that today we'll be lucky enough to find some special gold ingot. Probably each of you dreams of finding not a grain of sand, but a piece of gold. It's all in the hands of Allah. Maybe he'll give you a stone worth of 10,000, or maybe worth 1,000,000. I always carry gold with me for good luck. I collected this gold in 3 days. It costs over 40,000 rupees. May I see it? Look, my friends, 3 pieces of gold. This is how it looks in the place of gold mining. It's totally different from what we see in the windows of jewelry stores. That's a little less than $300. Not bad, right? Yes, for us it's good money. So most people on Earth have banknotes in their wallets, and the people who live here have gold in their bags. I'll ask you as an elder, what was the biggest piece of gold in your life? They found a piece weighing 40 grams. 40 grams? Yes, it's about this big. This big? 40 grams in one piece? It's 2,000 bucks. Probably there are legends here. Your grandparents also mined gold in these places. What was your biggest trophy? We don't know about the size, but once it was possible to get a large plot of land, and the rest of the gold had to be given to the king. You had to pay tax. They carried it in a pouch, right? Not really. Everyone had to give 20 to 30 grams. The gold diggers were the source of royal wealth in those days. There were thousands of you here, and each of you gave 20 to 30 grams. Now I get why. The kings were rich. Is it easy today? You don't pay tax. No, now everything you found is yours. This helps to retain hope that one successful discovery can change the lives of these people forever and make them fabulously rich. There is always such a possibility. Because a 40-gram nugget is not the limit, the world's largest gold nugget weighed about 70 kilograms. In 1869, 3 Australians found it. They came across the gold nugget pulling their wagon out of the mud. The golden stone even got its name, the Desired Stranger. Today, such a piece would cost $4 million. I just can't believe it. It's like I became the hero of an adventure movie about old times when people mined gold in rivers. A group of gold diggers gathers at the entrance to the camp. Only men and boys go to work. I was told to change clothes because first, I'll get dirty for sure, secondly, I will get wet. So I put on another jacket and rubber boots. Well, ready to go? Let's go. A place with gold is a little further from the camp. It takes more than 20 minutes to walk there, but it will be 3 minutes by car. You'll fit it in the body? Okay, get in. We lingered for a while, so we're late for work. We'll try to make up for it using a truck. My foreman today is showing the way to their main treasure, the local Golden Bay. Well, my friends, we arrived at the place of mining. Oh my God, what an unreal beauty. Really unreal. We have to go down a steep slope. Wow. And judging by the fact that my co-workers are already preparing a raft, we'll cross till the other side. Sasha, be careful, careful. Wow. That's the slope. Wow. Gold is always a difficult path. Wealth is not easy to get. Wow, what a view. What an extreme raft. This raft is made of several sticks and car tires. It can hold up to 4 people. So, my friends, the workers go in groups to the other shore. Look at this raft, guys. It's homemade, nailed. Something is fastened with insulating tape, something with a rope. Step only on sticks. The highest level of security. We can only step on wooden parts. Let's go, guys. Together with Hunza, our translator, and the boatman. Honestly, given the current, the depth and water temperature, I feel a little insecure. Have you ever overturned here? No, so far. I wouldn't like to be the first worker who couldn't cope with this simple ship. This is extreme, of course. Water on your butt. We have arrived on the other shore. The transfer was successful. Friends, this is probably one of the most unusual boat trips in my life. And he went to get the next group, which is on the other bank. In small groups, the whole crew crosses the mountain river. The boat is parked, and they go to work. Come on, this way. These people spend every day hoping that suddenly they come across a whole ingot of gold instead of a small grain. Then the whole family will get rich. We're walking along the rocky shore for a few minutes, then suddenly we stop. The foreman is pointing to several places, and the team starts preparing their tools. In my opinion, these points are no different from the rest of the coast, but these people have a keen eye. They have been mining gold here for centuries, and their hunch works well. Here, we will search here. And how do you know there may be gold here? Our experience tells us. We feel where the gold is. You should join the other guys by the water. See the boulders these men are dumping. Tell me, what are you doing now? We're taking the stones away to look for gold. Here, this will be more convenient. Step number 1, take away the stones. To extract gold, you need to clear the shore of stones. The task is to get to the sand, which must contain gold particles. And it seems that nothing will stop the man on the way to this golden sand. We are hindered by a small stone. We want to dump it. This is a real man's work. The size of the stone doesn't matter. If it's in the way, it will be taken away. You won't believe what I'm doing. I'm digging for gold. Perfect. The depth here is really great. Yes, the depth is over 12 meters. That's it. Has ever someone's leg or arm been pinched? A couple of times. If such a stone falls, it breaks bones. Yes, the hands and feet suffer the most, but fortunately, this is very rare. The places are ready. Prepare the equipment. Tell me what's up. Now we take these bags and bring sand here. There are several points where they collect sand. It is sifted, washed, and gold is found. You see, my friends, such a wooden rocker. The bottom is covered with carpets. In these carpets, small, heavy particles get stuck. In fact, this is a basic kit. To get rich, it's enough to have such a structure. They've already brought sand. The next task is to wash it. Everything is very simple, sand and stones. All this is placed on the wooden net and washed with water. Thus, large stones remain on top, the smaller ones fall into the cracks and on the carpet. Then they're washed away by the current, and the smallest and heaviest particles remain in the fibers. And there, if you're lucky, will be gold. The boys bring you portions of sand, one after another, and stand in line. Guys, how is the profit distributed? You bring the sand, and he washes it. Who earns more? We share everything equally between those who work. No one has a larger or smaller share. Come on, do some work. Okay, boss. I obey and submit. Put on a bag. I'm putting on a bag. Your arm goes here, here. Done. Collect the sand here and carry it for washing. So you need to collect all this sand. Yes. Fill the bag with it. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Everything is very simple. Just collect sand. So what this sand may contain gold? Of course. It turns out that your people literally walk on gold. The golden land of the Hunza Valley. Either a movie or a book could have such a title. It's true. We have a very rich land. There are also many valuable minerals. For example, a kakik stone in my ring. It's from these mountains. They say it's very useful for male strength. For male strength? How many children do you have? Only one so far. One. The stone isn't working. Okay, enough talk. Let's work. Take it to the water. Okay, I carry to wash what I collected. Nothing tricky. You collect sand and wash it, because almost all the sand here is precious. And the rock also contains a lot of gold. I'm pouring it. We're washing it. What else did you find besides gold? We also collect the so-called black sand. It has very small particles of gold, which we can't separate. It's used by shamans for white magic rituals. Wow, everything is so mystical here. They say that this is the land of shamans. It turns out that shamans use golden sand to be lucky. Do you sell it to shamans? Yes, they often buy it from us. So there are many shamans here? Yes, they are our main buyers of black sand. And do you believe in the power of Hunza Valley shamans? Yes, we do believe. We also ask them for help. If we can't find gold, we go to the shaman and ask him to direct us to the golden vein. And did shamans help you find the gold veins or shores where there's a lot of gold? We didn't find gold in the places they suggested. It's marvelous. You really have a wonderful land. The land of wonders. However, to get to the Hunza Valley golden wonders, we must break some sweat. Even here, gold nuggets won't just fall down from above. How much gold do you think we have here? About 2,000 or 3,000 rupees. It's measured not in grams here, but in rupees. How many rupees have been collected? I'm going back to my workplace. The boots are helping because I have to work in the water now. The water is so cold, my friends. It's obvious that the water comes from glaciers. The work is really hard. Imagine you have no home, you live in a tent, you wash the shore, and when the gold runs out, you just look for another point, relocate the tent camp, and build a new camp. And you keep washing the sand every day, year after year, for decades, a lifetime from generation to generation. Of course, it sounds impressive, a gold digger, but in reality, these people live very modestly, you saw it. And we don't mine in gold all year round, in winter till December 10 at the most. When does the new season begin? In April. How do you make a living during winter months? We work on a construction site in Gilgit. The earnings there are not the same. We make 500 to 700 rupees a day. And here, last month, the three of us earned 100,000 rupees. Over the past month, each of them made $240. Let's carry it. Be careful not fall into the water. Don't worry, I was told you have magic water too. After the bath, I will live for 130 years. It's true. Our people lived for a very long time. My grandfather was 135 when he died. 135? Yes, everyone here knew him. What is the phenomenon? Why? It's because he only ate homemade natural food, vegetables, eggs, chicken, and he didn't add any spices. Scientists from all over the world came to the Hunza Valley to try and reveal the secret of longevity. Now, of course, with the advent of civilization, life expectancy has decreased. And not so many people are centenarians, but these people exist. And previously, living to 130 was normal. There are legends about centenarians here. And it's just fantastic. We'll also try to solve this mystery, but for now, I want to know if there is gold here. So work, work, and work again. How old are you? I'm 16. When did you start doing it? When I was 8. What is your biggest stone, your most valuable finding in the 8 years of work? A piece of gold this big. This big? It costed 12,000 rupees. Look, what is your dream to find such a piece of gold? For example, we find such a piece of gold. You sell it for 3 million. What will you buy first? I'll buy 100 acres of land and grow vegetables there. And a car? Sure. So you need to find 2 ingots, right? Yeah. What is your dream? I'd like to go to school. To school? This is an awesome dream. What do you want to study? I will study English and mathematics, in general, all subjects. Did most of you go to school or not? At best until the 6th grade. The life of this community revolves around gold. As soon as children reach the age when they can work physically, they begin to mine gold with their parents. Tent settlements are usually placed further away from the cities, so the children usually do not go to school. They work from an early age and dream of finding their wealth in this land, permeated with gold and shrouded in legend. I'll ask everyone, what's your dream? If you find 2 pounds of gold, what do you want? To buy land and build a house. And stop looking for gold. That's right. And your dream is to buy a house too, and a plane. The plane? I'm tired of walking, I want to fly in the air. Guys, this is so cool, because if you don't dream, then nothing will ever happen. Every action begins with a dream. Any result starts with a dream, so don't give up. You may have a plane, why not? Everything is possible, I do believe. We haven't asked you, what is your dream? I'll buy land, build a beautiful house, and I'll bring another beautiful wife. You said you have a wife. I will have one more. Islam allows to have 4 wives. 4 wives would be great. Your wife will be offended when she will see our show. No, she won't be mad at me if I marry 3 more times. 2 pounds of gold is not enough for your desires. You need to find at least 10 pounds. It's true. 4 wives require at least 10 pounds of gold. If I were a sultan, I would have 3 wives. This is a song about Pakistan. A man doesn't even want 3 wives, but 4, because Islam allows to have 4 wives. Allah doesn't mind. If you can provide for all wives equally, then you may have 4 wives. Well, what can I say? Of course, we don't approve of this tradition. If I say, how great, you have a good dream, my wife will kill me. So I'd say, let your dream come true and you will be well. Okay, let's keep working. I've experienced the next stage of work too, my friends. Here, simple washing. Bring me more sand. You brought such cobblestones. They're not good. So, this is how families of gold diggers slowly wash 10 miles of the shore. Enough washing the sand today. Let's see what has accumulated in the carpets. This is the most interesting part. The magical process of extracting gold from the trough covered with carpet. They are filling the wooden container with water and wash the carpets. The gold from the carpets will settle in the water. Is it possible that you work all day, then you wash the carpets, and there is no gold at all? No, we have enough experience, so we won't be left without a prize. There are places with gold every 2 miles or so. So the entire coast is golden. It's true. Studies show that gold is most often found in rock. Its parts are carried by mountain rivers. In places with special relief, small golden grains of sand linger and mixing with the sand slow down their movement along the riverbed. The essence of the local gold digger craft is to find places where gold doesn't just float by, but rests on the natural barrier and stops, giving people a chance to find it. They wash it off, and now they will slowly drain the water. You see? At the bottom, the sand has gathered with much contained gold, and which is called golden sand. Wait, what about the gold? It can float away. Don't worry, gold is heavy. It won't float so easily. Well, my friends, now... Ta-da! At this stage, it becomes obvious whether the attempt was successful and whether the day was born any fruit, or has the tide turned against the gold diggers. These people's lives are a lottery. I can see gold. My friends, I can really see it. Here they are, tiny particles. You can clearly see them. There are many of them, dozens of them. A lot, actually. So there's gold for sure. So cool. And you see, gold has really fallen down to the bottom because it's a very heavy metal. Look how much gold. Wow. Look, my friends, it's marvelous. There are dozens of pieces. It's impressive. Let's wash it and check the amount. So excited. Next is a kind of slow counterpart of the washing machine centrifuge. He's spinning the water mixed with sand in a wooden plate, and inside there is a small recess. The heaviest among the grains of sand, gold is going down the moment you spin the plate. You see, there's a stream, and all the gold goes up. There's more and more of it. The spectacle is hypnotic. You can watch for a long time how the water flows, the fire burns, and gold appears out of nowhere, out of the sand. It's getting dark. We need to go back to camp. Okay, my friends, this is the end of the day. Will you entrust me with a mission to carry the gold stock of your family's golden dynasty? Of course, you may carry it. Just be careful. Let me carry your backpack then. Okay, they're my jewels, and I have yours. We're used to help each other. Many feet of dark shore, dozens of overturned boulders, and hours of work in cold water are reduced to a small handful of golden sand. If they get lucky, they'll be able to sell the prize profitably and to feed the large family of nomads for this money. But before that, another important stage is imminent, separating the gold particles from the sand. The main thing is to keep the gold. I shouldn't lose everything we have accumulated for the whole shift. Will you give me a ride? Hold the gold, please. I'll climb the raft. Give me the gold. Well, my friends, our team of gold... Take the gold. That's good that I'm wearing the rubber boots. With them, I'm not afraid of anything. I meant to say a team of gold diggers is heading to the shore and to the camp with their prize. Well, guys, you worked here today, but where will you work tomorrow? We'll work a little more of that place and move further along the shore. Basically, we can say that this whole coast is golden, right? From that stone to the big white stone there, it's the Gold Coast. How did you determine that? I mean, from stone to stone. My grandfather found this place. He realized that there was a lot of gold and set that white stone as a landmark. How many years does it take to cultivate this whole area? It seems to be about 2,000 feet long. Our 9 families process it in 3 months. But then, when the water level rises here in the summer, the river brings gold to this place again. It's winter now, there is little water, and we can collect the gold. And in summer, the water reaches the very top of this stone mountain. Wow, you mean that level? Yes. In June and July, it's all underwater. So the river brings gold every year and it stays here? Yes, it settles in the sand under the stones. There's probably a physical reason why there's gold here, starting from the white stone, and there's no gold before it. I guess you're right, because it is on this line between the 2 turns of the river we find the most gold in the area. I can't say for sure why it settles here, but this has been happening for many years, and even in this place where we stand, there is also gold. Under our feet? Yes, we don't dig here because a rockfall may begin from the mountain. It's marvelous, the place where gold comes from the mountains, and it only needs to be collected. Let's see what we collected today. Okay. We return to the camp by the same road. Today I helped the team enlist with our expedition truck, because they usually walk this distance after a hard day's work, being wet, in the cold, and in a complete darkness. We're here. Come in. It's warm. That's good. So you warm up first. You need to warm your hands. So, gold diggers return after a work shift to their camp, and first of all, they warm up. Well, let's move on to the most important process. Let's see how much gold we have. Yes, let's do it. He's opening the bottle and pouring out balls of mercury. Mercury is called leaf silver for its ability to roll into balls. From time immemorial, for many millennia, mercury is used to extract gold from the sand. This is the same mercury we see when we break the thermometer and then feverishly collect the balls, because we know that mercury is harmful. Do you know that mercury is harmful? We know that, but we can't collect pure gold without it. That's enough. That will be enough. And what's happening now? Everything is simple. He's mixing it like dough, sand, gold and mercury. When mixed with gold, mercury absorbs all particles of gold which occur in its path. The result is a mixture called amalgam. It's a mixture of mercury and gold. There is no other way to separate the sand from those micrograms of gold. Where do you get mercury? Do you break thermometers? No, we'll buy it to the market. Put it here. So, black sand is what you give to shamans? Yes. This sand also contains microparticles of gold, but they are so small that they can't be separated even with mercury, so such sand is used for rituals. So it dries up. What do the shamans do with it? They say, if you have black sand, no one will be able to harm you. So, it's like an amulet or a mascot. That's right, there's a custom to sprinkle each corner of your house with black sand, and then all the bad things will avoid your house. Tell me where to find the coolest shamans. They all know the best. They say that the strongest are in the Hunza Valley. Interesting. I came to you for good reason. I saw how God is mined and learned where to look for shamans. Every year, the number of powerful shamans in the valley becomes smaller, and you can't find them without the help from locals, but they don't lose touch with gold diggers to buy the necessary golden sand for rituals. This is our clue in the search of fortune tellers. Meanwhile, Imran starts the final stage of extraction, separation of mercury and gold collected in it. You see, they simply place a cotton ball with mercury on the coals. It needs to warm up. Do you realize that we are evaporating mercury and breathing its vapors? Yes, I try to blow towards the chimney to evaporate faster. However, your grandfather, who lived more than 130 years, did they too? Is it right? Yes, he was a gold digger too. That's it. The man did the same job. He contacted with Mercury daily, with its vapors, and lived for over 130 years. There is some magic in this region. A piece is already visible. The mercury evaporated and a yellow piece of gold remained. It's pretty big. The result of our today's work. How much is it? Half a gram? Let's wait and find out. You see, they don't even use electronic scales here. They're old school, real weights. Hold on. Half a gram. Half a gram, I was right. It will cost 4,000 rupees. How many people work today? 6 or 7 people. Let's divide 6 or 7 people. 4,000 rupees. How much is it? 500 rupees. Give me my part. All this gold is yours. All mine? I can take all of it. Look, I know how hard you work. Thank you very much for offering to donate, but I'll buy it. Because it will be very wrong and unfair on my part to accept a gift just like that. Okay, deal. I made my first deal with precious metals in Pakistan. 4,000. I'm not bargaining. Half a gram of gold. It's nice to deal with you, my gold friends. I'd like to ask the most experienced and the wisest, your mentor. What do you think about younger generation wanting another job and not wanting to mine gold? We don't want such a life for them either. In the cold and hard work, it's just that we don't have any other means of supporting our families. So it turns out you're reluctant gold diggers because you don't have any other job and enough bread? Yes, it's the only reason. We want our children to go to school and live in the city, but we don't have the chance to provide for this, and we don't know when it will appear. Young man, what's your name? Nasharvan. How old are you? I'm 12. How long have you been working? Since I turned 8. You go to school? No, but I'd like to. All our children want to go to school, but they have no possibility. Without education, we can find a good job in the city. All we can do is mine and gold. That's why we have to live like this. We don't enjoy this work. We simply have no choice. Life on the golden veins, it's quite contrary to what many imagine. To extract precious metal, these people sacrifice literally everything: permanent home, comfort, coziness, health, and even the future of their children. One can only hope that these men still manage to find fairly large nuggets to make their dreams come true. Well, it's time to say goodbye, but I can't leave you without presents. This is a very warm blanket, as it's called here. It's made by hand, Verkovina, Carpathians. We brought it specially for you. Mittens. It's all for your team, for your family. But shukriya. Wait, take a gift from us too. It's black sand. I think it's a sign. If I take black sand, which the shamans prefer to take here, then it will help us to find the best shaman. I really believe in that. And I hope we'll succeed. Moreover, we have some clue: the Hunza Valley. Let it bring you good luck. Thank you. But shukriya. During the reign of kings, shamans were the right hand of rulers because they had the gift to predict the future almost without error. It was the shamans who could determine the end of the battle before it began, to see the king's traitors and to suggest which deal will be profitable. Here it wasn't a wise woman who stood behind every great ruler, as we say, but a powerful shaman. We managed to find members of the last dynasty of kings who know about the abilities of local shamans, not by hearsay. We are heading to the mountain village of Minapin. We're going to meet the descendants of kings with a princely dynasty, and it's not an exaggeration. And you'll never guess where this meeting will take place. Welcome to the hotel. Yes, we get to a regular tourist guest house, not to some fort or an ancient royal palace. The hotel is in such a beautiful place. Descendants of kings also need to make ends meet and build a business. And today, the most popular business here is hospitality for climbers and tourists. Let's meet the royal dynasty. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dmytro, and yours? My name is Israr Hussein. Welcome to Oshotan. You are a direct descendant of the Hunza kings. Yes, my mother was a princess until 1972. Here she is in the picture. So your mother is a princess. She's very beautiful. Thank you. She was Mahbub Ali Khan's daughter. He ruled here in Nagara. Let me show you. Here he is. And this is my mother-grandfather, my great-grandfather. It was a king. Family ties are confirmed. A direct heir of the royal family. Nice to meet you. How is it customary to address you, Your Majesty? Usually they call me by name and treat with respect. Sometimes adding words like Kaka or Baba to my name. After the fall of the monarchy, Israel lives in an ordinary house instead of a palace. He earns his living without collecting tribute from his people, but renting out rooms in a simple guest house. The view is just cosmic, it's hypnotic. Look, my friends, the mountains hung directly over us. Shamans say that spirits live in these mountains with whom they can contact. Have shamans survived to this day? Do they exist today? Yes, they are shamans. Do you believe in their power? Of course I do. I also believe that they can learn information from spirits. Shamans told my mother that our royal lineage has emerged because of the union of spirit and man. It's fascinating. How much were shamans revered in royal times? Did your great-grandfather and grandfather ask shamans for help? Did they consult them before making important decisions for the kingdom? Yes, of course they did. Not only in ancient times, people still ask shamans when they are sick or when they want to protect their homes with a special ritual. Each royal family had its own shaman, and his power was called one of the most valuable treasures of the ruler. But there was enough work for people without supernatural powers. My mother told me that she had 8 or 9 maids who followed her for a walk or to the toilet. Before going to bed, they massaged her body and head. Let's just imagine that nothing changed in the 1970s, and the kingdom still remained. How would you be today? I would have many possessions in a palace. Definitely not such a small guest house and a simple restaurant in it. Would you have a chance to become king? Maybe. The throne passed to the younger brother if the elder died and he had no heirs. Then I can brag to our audience that I interviewed a man today who could well have become a king. Thank you, Your Majesty. So your family really lived like royalties. Today, this phrase is used figuratively all over the world, but you managed to feel it literally. Yes, my mother was taught to ride a horse, to shoot a weapon, and my grandmother played the guitar. I remembered her because she lived for over 100 years. How long did your mother, the princess, live? My mother didn't live as long as she could because of an injury. She died early at the age of 99. And my grandmother lived to 130. I read that there's something special here in these parts which allows people to live long, and centenarians are not surprised here. Is it true? This is ultra, but previously there were more long livers because our region has very clean air, water and organic food. Now I also try to follow these rules, and I even cook what my ancestors ate. I'd like to ask you to show me more clearly the secret of longevity in this region. Let's learn to cook the most popular royal dish of the Hunza. Okay. We return to the modern residence of the royal descendant. I'll teach you to cook a real royal dish. Dear chef, hello. What's your name, please? Balishach. Kifan Toussaint. Rahman Ali. Very nice to meet you. Is this your team? Yes, they feed me. I see you have a duty dress code. Almost all your employees wear this hat. This is our traditional headdress. It's called pakol. You also need to put it on. Now you are 100% royal chef. Did your mother ever complain when she had to cook, son, how good it was in the days of the kingdom? Of course she complained. This stuff became much smaller, and she often had to cook herself. Also, financially, it was a very difficult time, because people stopped making donations to the royal family. And how did you make a living after the kingdom disappeared? Did you have to run a business or a household, or you had enough royal supplies? At first, we lived on state subsidies. Someone went to work as an employee, someone opened a business. So royal descendants can now be found anywhere. Yes, there are royal descendants in the army, among teachers and cooks, anywhere. A royal chef. So, let's cook something royal. We'll cook a royal family dish of organic meat. This recipe survived thanks to my mother. We'll cook it in a stone pot. Wow, I saw the same thing in the fort in Altit. It's a museum exhibit there, and you have it in your kitchen. The taste of food cooked in stone pots can't be compared with ordinary utensils. It's a pan from your mother's collection. Yes, it was a gift for her wedding. A mixture of traditions and innovations, my friends. A modern gas stove and an ancient stone pan in which food was prepared for the princess, and today it's used in the kitchen in the usual cheap hotel for travelers. Okay, heat the pot. And this meat is organic because we herd our cattle high in the mountains, where they eat pure greens. What's next? Walnut oil, meat. Next we add chopped onions. Now ginger and garlic. Ginger and garlic paste. Why is it green? Because local garlic has a green tinge. Let's try it, my friends. Such a royal spice. It's perfect. You only taste ginger and garlic. What is it? Red pepper and salt. We add some water. Stir well and simmer for an hour. This is a royal recipe for cooking meat. Anyone can do it. Let's see what else is here. I'm sorry, I'm observant. I looked down and saw that you have a lot of royal utensils here. Is it all from the royal court? Yes, I keep a lot of my mom's things. The ones she sewed herself are especially valuable for me. Did your mom sew? Yes. In royal families, sewing was a traditional thing for a girl. We believe that a queen or a princess does no physical work at all, and she's generally from another world. Even in children's fairy tales, they sit alone on a throne or in a palace. Previously, only members of the royal family knew how to sew. Then they taught their servants, and now everyone knows it. As I've heard, many of the representatives of your former royal dynasties went into politics. Why didn't you become a member of a parliament? You are a respected person. You could be elected. This awaits me in the future. Meanwhile, the older generation is involved in politics. When they leave, we will take their place. We say the opposite. Make way for the young ones, and you prefer adults. Experience is needed to rule, and young people don't have it. Besides, young people don't like to work. You're 51. When do you plan to run if at 51 it's still early? Like Trump when you're 70 or like Biden 78? The best age for a politician is 50 to 70 years. You already have experience and passions to hear the people and help them. Those who want to taste the royal dishes should hurry to your hotel because maybe we will see you in Parliament soon. Another 5 minutes and it will be ready. Let's go to the table. Welcome to the royal table. 5 minutes and we'll be served royally. You should eat royal dinner in a royal way, with a landscape of charming beauty of the former principality. Boiling meat, awesome. See? Shukriya. Well, guys, let's taste it. We have a saying, it melts in your mouth. It crumbles, it's delicious. This stone pan did it. I've noticed that you eat with your hands, like the kings. Yes. So I'll do it like you, wrapping in bread. We use spoons to eat soup. We eat the rest with our hands. What do you think is the secret of a long life? The main thing is organic food, less stress and clear water as we have from glaciers. The meat is so delicious. Now I understand why they call this dish royal. Why should you miss the kingdom? You have such a good, quiet life, and if you were a king, there would be so many problems and responsibilities. And now you are developing your guest house. You live in an incredible place, so maybe it's for better. Yes, you're right. This is a great place, great guests come here. The royal reception is coming to an end. It's time for me to go back to the usual traveler's life, and a symphonic offering for a member of the princely family. I brought our Ukrainian national gifts. Your hat? No, it's yours now. Is this from me? We exchanged gifts. Awesome. Thank you. Goodbye. In the next episode, the fairies descend into our world along these peaks and come to me. How can a person contact a fairy? Fairy tale creatures, are they fictional or real? What is happening? I read a prayer that calls the fairies. We will find the mysterious valley of shamans to see how they encounter spirits and communicate with fairies. To ask what awaits us in the near future. When will the world forget about the coronavirus? Will Zelensky become president for the second time? We'll get to the biggest secrets of the Hunza Valley. It's all mystical here. And we'll find the main treasure that prolongs life. It's a black stone. It's extremely rare. It helps to cure all diseases. The World Inside Out with Dmytro Komarov.